Hello, students. I hope you all are doing well at your home and keeping your body and mind healthy. Today, we'll be learning chapter 5, and I hope you must have seen the videos of chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Today, we'll be learning chapter 5. I request you all to open your books and keep it in front of you. Let's start the chapter. In this chapter, we will be learning about three states that are solids, liquids, and gases. So, what is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and has weight. And the matter exists in three states, that is, solid, liquid, and gas. So, what is matter made up of? All the matter can be split into tiny units that are not visible to the naked eye. These tiny units are called molecules. What are these tiny units called? Molecules. Yes, as you can see in the figure, the molecules inside a solid, the molecules inside a liquid, and the molecules inside the gas. Okay, so what are molecules? A molecule is the smallest unit of a substance that has all the properties of that substance. Okay, for example, if we talk about a salt molecule. So, a salt molecule is the smallest particle of salt. Okay, each salt molecule will have the properties of salt. Molecules are made up of matter. A molecule can be further broken down into smaller units called atoms. These atoms are called the building block of matter. All kinds of matter in the world is made up of about 118 kinds of atoms. Yes, in your book it is given 117, but it is 118 kinds of atoms. And atoms of same kinds form elements. They are called elements, and atoms of different kinds combine together and form compounds. Okay. About elements and compounds you will learn in the further classes, next classes. So now we will see the arrangement, how the molecules are being arranged in solids, liquids, and gases. Molecules are always in a state of motion. As you can see, you cannot see the motion of molecules in solid, a bit in liquid, but in gases you can see the motion of the molecules. They never stop moving. Okay, they are constantly attracted towards each other. So in solids, as you can see, the molecules are very close to each other. They attract each other with great force. So a solid is hard. Whenever you touch a solid, you can feel its hardness. It is rigid and has a definite shape and volume. Solids have fixed shape and a fixed volume. Now we will talk about liquids. In liquids, the molecules are less closely packed than solids. They are loosely packed. Okay, the attraction between the molecules in liquid is less as compared with that of solids. Molecules can move around freely, but they have less space. That is why liquids can flow. A liquid has a definite volume. It has a fixed volume but not a fixed shape. As you can see, whenever we pour liquid in any container or a tumbler, it takes the shape of that vessel. Okay, so liquids do not have fixed shape, but they have fixed volume. Okay, Now we will talk about gases. In gases, you can see the molecules are separated by very large empty spaces. They have a lot of freedom to move about. The molecules in a gas move faster than the molecules in a solid or in a liquid. That is why a gas has no definite shape and volume. Gases do not have fixed shape and volume. Now we will talk about mixing of solids in water. As water is considered the universal solvent, let's see solids in water. We have learnt that substance like sugar and salt are soluble in water. It means they can be mixed or dissolved in the water. This means that the molecules of sugar or salt find space between the molecules of water. As the solution becomes salty or sweet when we add salt or sugar in the water. Whenever suppose we are adding some of the cubes of sugar in water, what happens? So the sugar cubes are being distributed throughout the solution, and as you can see the molecules of sugar fill the empty spaces inside the molecules of water. Okay, and in your book the example of potassium permanganate is given. It is being soluble in water. When potassium permanganate is dissolved in water, you can see the color of water is being changed. So this shows that potassium permanganate is fully dissolved in water. Next is liquids in water. When two liquids mix together, okay, they are called miscible liquids. As if we mix alcohol in water or glycerine or milk in water, it is completely mixed inside the water. So milk or water or glycerine or water or alcohol or water, these are miscible liquids. Okay, and when two liquids do not mix with each other, they are said to be immiscible. For example, oil in water, it cannot be mixed with each other. Okay, now we will talk about gases in water. Gases like oxygen, nitrogen, ammonia and carbon dioxide can dissolve in water. Okay, if we talk about the water in the ocean, so water in the ocean, rivers and lakes contains dissolved oxygen and nitrogen. And what happens when water starts boiling? The bubbles are formed on the side of the vessel and on the bottom of the water. Why? Why are these bubbles formed? These bubbles are of the dissolved gases that separate from water on heating. These are the dissolved gases that is being separated from the water at the time of heating. Okay. Now if we'll talk about the aerated drinks. So the gas that bubbles out of an aerated drink is the carbon dioxide. Okay, it is dissolved in the water under great pressure, or when you open the cap of the bottle, you can see the bubbles coming out of the bottle. It is the pressurized carbon dioxide gas mixed in the liquid. Now we learn how heating and cooling brings the changes. Okay, heating and cooling brings about the change in matter. It can bring about the change in state, or it can form a new substance. Okay. First we will learn about physical change. What is physical change? A physical change is a temporary change which can be reversed. Physical changes in the matter can be reversed. Let's see. If we cool water, it can turn into ice. or if we heat the ice, it can turn into water. So turning of water into ice and ice into water is a physical change, and it is a temporary change. It can be easily reversed. Same with water. On heating water, water vapors, and on cooling water vapors, we get water again. On heating solid wax, we get melted or liquid wax, and on cooling the liquid wax, we can again get the solid wax. This is also example of physical change. So physical changes are only in the state of matter. Okay, these changes are temporary and these can be easily reversed. Now we'll talk about chemical changes. Chemical changes result in a permanent change in the state of matter. Okay, heating or cooling results in a permanent change in the state of matter. A new substance is formed and we cannot get back the old substance in the chemical change. Okay, for example, if we burn a piece of a paper, okay, when a piece of paper is burnt, it changes into ash, and the molecules of paper are very different from the molecules of ash, and ash cannot be converted again in the paper. We cannot get the paper back again. So this change of this burning of paper into ash is an example of chemical change. So chemical changes are permanent, they cannot be reversed, and they result in the formation of a new substance. So there are many chemical changes around you which keep on occurring inside our body at all the time. So just think about it and let me know when we'll talk about this in the class. So this was the end of the chapter. Now let's see what all things we have learned today. That matter exists in three states. These three states are solid, liquid and gas. Matter is made up of molecules. What are molecules? Molecules are the tiny substance present inside the matter, and molecules are made up of atoms, and atoms cannot be further divided. Okay, atoms are the building block of matter. They are the tiniest part of the matter. Atoms of same kind combine and form elements. Atoms of different kinds combine and form compounds. The arrangement of molecules differ in different states of matter. We have seen that. Some solids like salt and sugar, it is dissolved in water, and when one liquid dissolves in another, both are said to be miscible. And some of the gases like oxygen and ammonia are also can be dissolved in water. Heating and cooling brings about the changes in matter. Yes, some changes are temporary. Those changes are called physical change, while some changes are permanent. Those changes are called chemical change. Okay, so we have completed the chapter. Now the assignment related to the chapter, the question answers and the exercises can be found below in the description box. Till the time, study at home, stay safe, take care of yourself, wash your hands again and again. When you go out, wear a mask and maintain social distancing. Thank you.